Everyone, it's Ellis, and I'm joined by Gryffinn today for the 13.14 patch rundown. And this is the patch that has Soul Fighter, it has Naafiri inside of it, and from the way that it is looking, Naafiri not going to be available for playoffs in any of the regions, because typically that is what Riot does. So the champion will end up being disabled, as playoffs are going to be on 13-14 for some regions, and then other regions are not going to use 13-14, which also now means Naafiri, unless there's some like special thing with Asia Games being a tournament that is had before Worlds, Naafiri will not be available at Worlds, which means Naafiri is coming out on July 19th, and we will not see Naafiri until January 2024 in competitive play. So Riot Games, as always, with a fantastic release schedule for a champion. And yeah, so this, as well as Briar, we're just not going to be able to see them in competitive for 6 months. And, you know, I mean, the same is going to be true for other, you know, amazing things going on around the world, like Vitality, right? We're not going to be able to see them again until, you know, potentially 2024. So, okay, we're going to move right into it. This is somewhat of a sizable patch, but realistically for competitive, it doesn't do anything. And this has been sort of how all patches have been this year. Like, patches don't do anything.
They're just for solo queue.
They're just for solo queue, and they don't touch competitive at all. Obviously, there's the mid-season ranked reset, which is happening, and you can see all the dates and times here, and, you know, when your region is resetting. And then, obviously, the 2v2v2 game mode is going to be coming out today, at least in Korea. Tomorrow for everyone else, I believe, is what's going to end up happening, because typically the Eastern region countries are a day ahead on getting the patches. So with that being said, we're going to move into it. So Naafiri is here. You haven't played her. I have. She seems really, really weak in laning phase. She never actually got any adjustments or buffs to her during all of PBE. I would say maybe I have something like 50 total games of Naafiri, if you include also the 2v2v2 mode. In the 2v2v2 mode, she was only good when she hit 6 items.
Yeah, it seems like she's like a scaling type champion.
Yeah.
She's kind of mid. She doesn't really spike until...
It feels bad.
Good,
yeah, it feels really, really bad. So I don't see how she's going to work in competitive, and then obviously her jungle stuff is very gimmicky. I don't know why you'd ever play Naafiri over playing Zed or Talon. Okay, Aatrox. Q damage increased, minion damage modifier increased. Q the Darkened Blade, first cast damage 10 to 90, plus 60 to 80% AD, to 10 to 70, plus 60 to 100% total AD. This will be a buff at 0, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100 AD. So, okay. So the first Q obviously is not a buff. The second cast of Q will still deal 25% more damage than base, and third cast will deal 50% more. Okay. Minion damage modifier now also scales at 1, 6, 11, and 16. This obviously helps with the CSing. So the really big thing about this is with the AD ratio now going up, he gets 20% on his Q. That's a pretty big deal, because I think Aatrox gets up to like 300, 400 AD.
Yeah, he gets a lot of AD.
He gets a lot of AD.
Conquer.
Right.
I mean, this is going to help a lot, it appears.
It is,
and
yeah.
his wave clear is going to be better. That's a pretty good buff.
These are massive buffs, I think, for Aatrox. And I wonder if anyone will actually do the old... With Sterak's Gage also getting, I think, a buff this patch, and Sterak's just being in an amazing spot, I wonder if anyone will actually do the Trinity Force Aatrox stuff and then just rely on Q1, Q2, and then obviously the haste and attack speed and everything else, because of the synergy with Sterak's, that could be very, very, very good for certain matchups.
Yeah, Triforce probably gets buffed for Aatrox too, because now that it's only 3...
Right, he stacks it so quick. Right. Okay, Diana. W shield strength increased, damage per orb increased, E magic damage increased. W Pale Cascade. Okay, so 40 to 100 plus, okay, 25% AP, 9% bonus health, to 45 to 105 plus 30% AP plus 9% bonus health. So the thing with Diana is she doesn't actually get a whole lot of AP. So even though they're increasing the damage by a super negligible amount, you don't get access to this buff until you start picking up items. So it almost doesn't have value in laning phase, because in laning phase you're not getting, I mean, 5% AP is not really doing anything in laning phase. And the flat damage buff doesn't matter because you don't put points into W. And then E Lunar Rush 50 to 130 plus 50%, 250 to 130 plus 60%. So you get 10% AP here. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change.
It's not going to add that much to your combo. Let's say she has like 200, 300 AP, 30 damage.
Right. It's not making why you choose or don't choose Diana.
Yeah, like I think her burst is already okay, but
right.
like it's not gonna help
right
that much. She's still probably gonna be weak.
Yep. Okay.
At least for jungle.
Hecarim, W bonus armor and MR decreased. W Spirit of Dread. Bonus armor and magic resistance 15 to 35 to 5 to 25. Dante's is getting nerfed before he comes to Korea. He's actually, I mean, losing 10? That's a pretty big nerf, especially actually. Yes.
Like, you maxed up 2 seconds, so he's not going to get
right.
to level 8. It's a big nerf for, like, no reason. He's not seen in competitive. Only solo queue.
It's only solo queue.
And he's not even that strong in solo queue.
Well, they're saying that he is actually really strong in solo queue, but obviously, I don't know what MMR they're referring to him being really good at. I mean,
super low MMR because in high elo at least his matchups are not.
I would find it. Well, okay, so in high MMR, he's still 50% win. Okay, well in Master 49, Grandmaster 49.
Yeah, but this isn't exceedingly.
This isn't overwhelming, right? So I don't understand why they're actually nerfing him.
It's a decent nerf, like
right.
Yeah, that's a pretty big.
That's a pretty massive. Yeah, I mean that's really big. Jax, okay. E cooldown increased. Our mana cost increased. Okay. E counter strike 14 to 8, to 15 to 9. So he just gets 1 more second added. I mean, he doesn't immediately cast Counter-Strike in laning phase. So the 1 second, it is something, but it's not the end of the world. And then our Grandmaster at Arms, mana cost is going to go up by 50. Jax does get actually pretty low on mana in a lot of instances, so this could be problematic, but not really.
Yeah, realistically, he doesn't get 2 rotations of...
Oh, your mic isn't on.
Oh, yo.
Wait.
Okay, we just hope that it's fine.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean, he doesn't get 2 rotations of E until like late game team fights, so this is probably not the hugest deal. And yeah, maybe a big deal, but probably not.
Okay, Karthus. Q base damage decreased, damage to monsters increased, E mana restoration decreased. Q lay waste. 45 to 115 plus 35% AP. 43 to 115 plus 35% AP. So at the very end, it's the same, and at rank 3, it's 1 damage off, which obviously has the double when it hits. But realistically, it's not doing anything. Monster damage modification is going up by 5%. So this isn't a nerf to jungle Karthus. So jungle Karthus actually stays completely the same. His clear speed is actually sped up. Yeah, his clear speed is sped up in the later stages once he hits level 9. His clear speed. Well, actually no. His clear speed is actually sped up from
level 2, I think.
Level 2? Is it level 2? Level. Yeah. No. Wait. No. Level rank 4. Rank 4 would be sped up. I can't math off the top of my ears. It's totally fine.
With the monster modification.
With the monster modification. Well, obviously, yeah, you'd have AP and stuff like that, right? So yeah. Probably. Well, on first reset. It could
be level 1, to be honest. Wait.
No, it can't be level 1. You don't have AP.
45. Okay, no, because you have like 18 AP. Nah, wait. I don't think so.
No, it's not.
Well, it's 2 damage less.
No, because even if it does double, it's only 0.9. So it's still missing the 2. Yeah, it's off by 1. Yeah, so it's fine. E Defile, mana restoration on enemy takedown 15 to 55 to 10 to 50. So Karthus now loses 30 mana per wave if he perfect CSs. So 30 mana per wave, I mean, that's kind of big. After 4 waves, he loses 120. The thing is he gets Lost Chapter so much earlier now that he doesn't really have those types of mana problems. It is going to be something to take notice of, especially in like the higher MMRs where Karthus can't, where Karthus actually do manage their mana and they do auto attack with just regular autos in order to restore with Defile passive instead of using Qs and stuff. This is going to probably move him down a notch in, AD carry and in mid lane and stuff, but it's not going to be the end of the world. For jungle, I actually think really bad Karthuses are going to get hit by this.
Really?
I think really bad Karthus
this is targeted towards lane for sure.
Yes.
But for jungle, I think it's basically the same. If you're bad with your mana usage, it could be bad. But realistically, after your full clear, you're only going to lose like 60 mana, which you like, or I mean, a lot actually on Krugs, but like
Krugs, Raptors, Wolves.
Yeah. But excluding Krugs, it's like probably around 60, which isn't the hugest deal because you get so much mana.
Right.
But if you're really bad, then I guess it could be a big deal.
Okay, Kindred, this is your one trick. So base health increased, base armor increased, Q base damage decreased, cooldown is increased. So base stats. So she's gonna get 30 health, and her armor is gonna go up by 3. So she's tankier. And in exchange for getting tankier, now her Dance of Arrows is going to go down by 10 base, and the cooldown's up by 1.
Yeah, I actually think that's decent deal. Like Q having an extra second on Q, like every Q.
That's pretty big deal.
That's pretty big deal, especially for her first clear, because her first clear on this timer or on this patch, you can get 3 Q rotations.
Yep.
But now you only can get 2 probably. Yeah, 1 second is actually a pretty big deal. I think this will make her like fair again.
Yeah.
Because I think she is strong right now.
She's very, very strong right now. So, okay. Yeah, I think it's going to hit Kindred really hard. Obviously, Kindred only being seen inside of the jungle, so that's the only area that we really have to pay attention to her at.
It's not really like 8 to 9 seconds because she uses W, so it lowers. It's like more like 3 to 4 seconds. Which is a pretty big jump.
Yeah. Lissandra, passive quality of life changes added. Q will now slow all enemies hit. R heal increase damage and slow application increase. Passive Iceborne subjugation. So now Thralls will follow enemies into brush. This is a really big deal. If they were already being chased down by the Thrall, I see you coming. Thralls are revealed to enemies through Fog of War. Okay. Q, Ice Shard, slow application will apply to all enemies now, not just first. I think that's something that not even a lot of Lissandra players knew. And then also Ice Shard Missile. Q will cast from position point cast rather than precast. And then R, Frozen Tomb. The heal amount 90 to 190 plus 25%, increased by 0 to 100%. Bouncing health to 100 to 200. So it's just getting 10 flat, but it's getting 30% AP. Now, the thing is with Lissandra is she itemizes a lot of the utility AP items. She doesn't go Glass Cannon. So because she doesn't go Glass Cannon, her AP ratios are typically going to be a lot lower than a Burst Mage or, you know, some of the other mages that incorporate Death Cap into their build, or like Shadow Flame or these other really large AP items. So because of that, yes, she's getting a buff and she is going to have more healing value, but still. Damage and slow application cadence 4 times per second, 16 times per second. Interesting. Dash interaction updated logic slightly around stopping dashes. Thoughts?
I don't go.
Whoa.
I mean, it looks like they're trying to push her more into the meta because I think she's okay right now into some matchups.
She's okay as a counter pick, sure.
So I think they're going to try to push her a bit harder.
Yeah. Milio, passive burn damage decreased, E, bonus movement speed decreased, passive fired up, 25 to 80 based on level plus 20% AP, 15 to 50 based on level plus 20% AP, E, warm hugs. Okay, so bonus movement speed 15 to 25 to 12 to 20. So the thing about this is his bonus movement speed doesn't end up mattering a whole lot in the later stages of the game because of the way that movement speed exceeding a certain amount ends up interacting. So when champions, I think it's 450. When they exceed 450, there is some like reduction that ends up going on. The passive fired up is probably the most noticeable change, but if you've watched a lot of competitive Milio matches at this point, sometimes he's actually just picked into bad matchups, in which case the passive just doesn't matter anyway. And even when he's in like good-ish matchup, pro players typically will play around this. So I feel like this just hits solo queue a lot more than anything, and it's just something to make people happy that Milio's getting nerfed.
Yeah, I'm happy Milio. I don't like that champion. To be honest, she's so annoying.
It's a he.
Oh yeah,
it's a boy.
Yeah.
All right.
He.
All right.
But yeah, okay, like not really anything. Yeah. But whatever.
Okay. All right, so Rek'Sai, W Unburrow, physical damage 55 to 115 plus 80%, 250 to 110 plus 80%, E Furious Bite, 55 to 75 plus 85%, to 5 to 25 plus 70% total AD. So there's no thing in parentheses here, so I imagine if you go Glass Cannon Rek'Sai, it's probably a buff, is what I'm imagining, and then obviously physical Unburrow 55, 155, 80%. Yeah, I mean, it's a flattener. I don't care about this. These changes, like it's not going to stop you from picking Rek'Sai. It doesn't change anything. I don't understand.
Wait, his E? I actually wonder how his E, like, I wish they could like some math. Her E, like some math behind like the thresholds and whatever. But whatever. Yeah, I think she'll still like do her job, which is like a strong early game champion, and late game she has like a decent amount of burst and a point click CC. So she's still okay, I think.
Okay. Rell, base armor decrease, passive armor and magic resistance steel decrease. So base armor is going down by 3. Passive break the mold, armor and magic resistance steel is 3 to 2%. Minimum armor and magic resistance steel 1.25 to 3 based on champion level to 0.8 to 2 based on champion level. Maximum armor and magic resistance steel is down by 5% total. So I don't know how to feel about Rell because it feels like this is not what is making her good. It's just her kit, and it's like the engage. It doesn't have to do with these minor numbers. Typically, if you're locking them up as Rell and you actually made a gank successful, you got a good engage, they're dead anyway. It does not matter that you didn't steal 5% of their armor and MR.
Yeah, I think they need a nerf for her engage for sure. Like her R, it's too like broken actually. Like, like
Magnet
with her W and Q. So it's not like the fucking it's not like just the specific like damage numbers.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think Rell's engage is more problematic, not actually her passive. Rengar, base health regeneration decreased, Q critical strike damage conversion decreased health regeneration, 7 to 6 per 5. So I mean, this is not. I mean. Okay, he loses an auto attack probably inside of the jungle from the monster damage or something.
Yeah, the health regeneration doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then the Q savagery, critical strike damage conversion, 95% to 75%.
I saw some people complaining about it on Twitter, but I'm not too sure how big of a deal it is, to be honest. But yeah, it's okay nerfs.
I think they're totally fine. We're not even really seeing like Ivern Rengar like anything that makes him like really really gross. Shaco, QAD scaling increase, backstab damage increase, bug fixes. Q deceive, bonus physical damage 25 to 65 plus 50% bonus AD to 25 to 65 plus 60% bonus AD. So okay, so he gets 10% bonus AD. Now even if Shaco builds pure glass cannon, it takes a while for him because if he builds pure glass cannon, he doesn't actually get to like 4 items. So he's only going to have like 3 items. So if he has 3 items, this is like a 30 damage buff. Backstab critical strike damage 40% to 55%. I mean, that's nice, I guess, right? But this isn't going to push Shaco. I actually really wish that Shaco just abandoned AD Shaco and made him like more full AP because I feel like it fits his identity. Yeah, it fits his identity.
AIDS basically, but with like W and R. So I mean, I would like to see W buffs. Like, if they increase like W Fury Nation, you know how annoying that'd be. Yeah,
that'd be I mean, anything that would make his playstyle more like Trickster. R hallucinate, Prowler's Claw passive will now properly be applied to Shaco's clone. Interesting. Okay. So now if he goes Prowler's Claw, both his clone and himself gets it.
Yeah. I mean, AD Shaco is just overshadowed. Like, there's just better assassins. So probably won't push him enough.
Shyvana, honestly, I'm going to just skip this. She's up for a rework, and the changes don't do anything. I reviewed it inside of the preview and stuff. The increased attack speed is, like, really nice. The thing is that Shyvana is just only going to end up being a solo queue champion, so none of this actually matters. I mean, if you have any thoughts on it, then,
No, it's chill.
It's okay. All right, great. Excellent. Okay, Volibear, passive AP scaling increased, Q quality life change, W heal increase. So this is mostly only good for AP Volibear, which does like the boss strategy where it just perma split pushes and applies boss and law. Lightning Claw, magic damage 11 to 60 based on level plus 40% to 11 to 60 based on level plus 50%. So he gets 10% AP. So even if you start a Doran's Ring, you get 1.5 extra damage on his Lightning Claw. It's doing nothing, guys. It's genuinely doing nothing. Even when you end up getting Nashers, you're adding 10 damage to his passive. That's it. That's if you get Nashers. You have to go full AP for this to really start mattering because of the amount of time that it takes for his passive to like light up. W Frenzied Maul, 20 to 80 plus 8 to 16% missing to 20 to 80 plus 8 to 20% of missing. That's good for tank Volibear.
Yeah, so they're just buffing like both avenues.
Yep.
It's like pretty mid buffs, but
right.
I feel like this match is all just like mid.
It's terrible. Like nothing here is competitive. There's no competitive changes on this patch.
Yeah, Malphite
so far.
and Johnny will still be like just the fuck it.
Well, and Aatrox maybe actually. Aatrox is probably the only. Aatrox is by far and away the largest thing from this patch that will hit competitive. So I mean that's one takeaway. All right, Xerath. This could hit competitive. We did see Fnatic actually play Xerath versus Azir, but he lost, so obviously Xerath sucks. Okay, so base mana 459 to 400, so he's losing 59 mana at rank 1, which is a spell cast. Passive Mana Surge, cooldown 12 to 16, so passive going up, 2 for 1. Mana Surge's cooldown is now reduced by 2 seconds upon killing a unit. Wow.
Oh, that's pretty big. Like
that's huge. Yeah. Wait a minute. So if you CS a wave perfectly, it's 4-second cooldown.
Yeah, and then hitting towers...
and now hit it. So if you push the wave, walk up to the turret and auto it, you get your passive.
Yeah, and then you could probably like bully them on their turret too, because you can like get the next wave. And
right. Wow, this is very akin to Brand's passive, where they just gave him the mana restore if the target was ablaze when they died. Already, the arcane number of cast 3 to 5 to 4 to 6. What? Magic damage 200 to 300 plus 45% AP to 180 to 280. So it's losing 20 base. It's losing 5% AP. And Xerath is a champion that likes to get a lot of AP. Successful snipes. So the champion is hit with the bolt. Successive bolts would deal an additional... What? So the first one is lower. Then the second one is even. And then if you... What?
Broken. You're gonna have to dodge. You're gonna have to dodge 6 ultis. Oh well, that'll be not fun. Note this applies.
Oh, you only receive 1 stack per cast. Oh, okay. But still, so it goes back to what it used to be, but you're getting 1 full one.
Yeah.
So you're rewarded if you hit the full one.
Yeah. If you,
okay.
Yeah. If you hit.
If you hit
accuracy, basically.
Right. If you hit only 5, it's the same damage that it used to be. So it's a buff if you hit all of them. But the thing is now you can spread the damage more because you gain that extra one.
And you just get extra one. Which is
okay, Xerath actually these are pretty big buffs.
Yeah, you get extra one per each rank. It's
so
super nice.
The thing is though, is that this is a buff for this is actually all around a nerf for support Xerath, but it's a buff for mid lane Xerath.
Yeah, it's not good for support.
Right.
True.
Okay, Zyra, maybe a new jungler. So let's take a look here. So Zyra, for people that don't know, Zyra, back in season 9, some people might remember that it was mostly Karthus and Syndra that could, and I guess Brand. So it was Karthus, Syndra, and Brand that could do the on the move farming inside of the jungle. They could run past camps while simultaneously CSing it. So those were like the big 3 that did it. And then a lot of people know that Selfmade was playing a lot of Syndra. It was actually banned against Fnatic. So we never actually got to see Syndra jungle come out in competitive, but it was a real thing along with Brand. One of the champions that doesn't get talked enough about was actually Zyra because of the way that her plants interact with the camps. Zyra is also one of the few champions that can also do the on-the-run clearing. Now, with the patient changes that ended up happening inside of the jungle, on-the-move clearing is kind of gone for the most part until you just get obscene numbers of damage, and then you can do on-the-move clearing. Zyra can still actually do on-the-move clearing in theory, right, because of the way that her plants work. So these changes are really big in that regard. So plant damage from AoE spells 4 to 3, plant damage from ranged auto attacks 4 to 5, plant damage from monsters 150%. To non-epic, to 40 to 100 bonus magic damage to all monsters, scales with champion level. And now W rampant growth, seeds on first rank up 1 to 2, that's huge. So she gets a lot more, okay. And then E grasping roots, flash interaction, E no longer locks Zyra out of using flash during the cast time. That's amazing for engages. And now Strangle Thorns, damage application cadence 4 times per second, 16 times per second, okay? Casting logic, Zyra will walk up to the position at which her art was cast. Zyra will immediately cast her art at maximum range. This is awesome.
Oh, that's broken.
That's really good.
For E R flash now? Or,
yes.
Yeah, so E flash R?
This is super big because some people might not remember that about a month ago there was a Twitter poll asking what do you prefer when you cast an ability at beyond your character's range. Do you prefer that the champion casts it at max range, or do you prefer the champion walks into range and then casts it?
Yeah.
And I believe that the poll was actually won by people that just want it to cast at max range, and that actually feels the most intuitive. Feels very weird going from a champion that will cast at max range to a champion that will then walk to cast.
Yeah, the walking is
the walking is really, really weird. Okay, so that's how it is. Okay, these are kind of... I mean, are you going to try her?
Hell no. You're not going to try her? No, imagine you can play Zyra. It's literally budget fiddlesticks or something. I don't know. But yeah, she's not... She doesn't fit my cup of tea.
Cup of tea, okay.
But that's a pretty big buff.
Okay. Axiom Arc. A few lethality items have been underperforming in this patch. We're looking to ensure that core AD assassins have strongly tailored legendaries that have unique outputs. Okay. Ultimate cooldown refund 20% of total cooldown to 5% plus 40% of total lethality. This will be a buff at Mythic item plus Axiom Arc, scaling up to 40% at full build. Will it? Wait. At Mythic item plus Axiom Arc. So if you buy a Mythic... Wait.
Yeah, because you just need like what? 40-ish lethality, or you need 36. Yeah, you need 36.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, I mean, all right, that makes sense. Okay, so the thing, yeah, I mean, okay, so that's fine. So as long as you're being able to purchase Axiom Arc like second or third, then it is a successful buff. But there's going to be really specific champions that actually want to do that. So in that regard, I mean, I do think that it's fine if you're just trying to snowball and stuff. Galeforce, 90 to 120 seconds. This is fine. You know, 80 carries can just keep coping about like cooldowns like this. It doesn't matter. Infinity Edge, 70 to 65 to 35% to 45%. So the damage going down is whatever. The critical strike damage now going up by 10% is actually kind of massive. So I already think that Jinx is still one of the best champions in the entire game. I'm really perplexed that people don't play her. I already tweeted about, you know, people are completely overreacting to the Jinx nerfs. If you guys just go to the patch history and then do the math on what the nerfs actually were, then Jinx is still one of the best. And obviously, a champion like Caitlyn is also someone that's going to be able to use something like this. So in that regard, I mean, I think the Infinity Edge change is also quite nice.
Yeah, they're just making it more competitive towards Galeforce.
Right.
It's pretty good.
Yep. Okay, Prowler's Claw. After its rework, Prowler's Claw is still a bit weak compared to the premium damage carry items, so we'd like for it to be Lethality Assassins. We're going to get some help to bring it to a baseline lethality up to, okay, so 15 to 18 doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. If you're building Prowler's Claw for its active, you were going to build it whether or not it got this buff because it's 3 lethality. And the way that lethality works is that it scales to level. So you're not actually getting 3 lethality outright as soon as you purchase it. So this is just ridiculous. I mean, if they would have made it something like 21 or 22 or something like that, I think that would have been more noticeable because then even, you know, I mean, the active does benefit from its own buff, but still. Okay, Randuin's Omen, critical strike damage reduction 20% to 25%. I don't think it really matters. I mean, it's nice. Yeah.
3 lethality is like probably like 50 gold's worth. Now that I think about it.
No, it's more than that, surely.
No, it's like 50 to 75 because, okay, let's say cloth armor, right? It's 300 gold, right? For 12 armor.
Yeah. And
lethality is like 2 to 3. Like, so if you think about it, it's like 50 to 75 gold.
I'm sure there's an actual answer to this, but I don't know what it is. Okay. Spear of Shojin is going to go down by 100 gold, and the health is going to go up by 50. So it's really weird because it's not like the item isn't built. It has very few purchasers, but that's because of the way the item is.
Yeah, it's only broken on like Jax and stuff.
Right. It's only broken on actual specific champions because that's the way the item is. This is not an item that you can choose to just spec into relative to a game state. This is an item that is designed for certain champions and is only built for certain champions. Even if the argument is that it wasn't designed for certain champions, well, that's a problem with its design with the way that it ended up then, because obviously this is only going to be built on certain champions. And now they're just rejoicing that it's buffed.
Yeah, they're just happy.
Yeah. Spirit Visage, magic resistance 50 to 60. I mean, that's nice.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean
it's making it more competitive to like Abyssal and stuff.
Right. Okay. Statikk Shiv. Statikk Shiv's minion damage has been tuned to nearly kill every caster minion, but not quite do it unless you're at the cutting edge of experience gain. Unfortunately, this specific goal hasn't met easy to eclipse marks, but meant it's easy to eclipse that mark. This very specific goal has meant it's easy to eclipse this mark with Dominion DMAT. Additionally, the item can stall games with its late game minion damage requiring Baron buff to push through. Outside of these warriors, the team is pretty well balanced with a nerf. Okay, so attack speed is going to go up by 5%. Electroshock minion damage is going to go down based on level to 250 to 350. Wow, it's losing 100 late. 25 plus 25 per level starting at 7 and then 12 point level 250. So I don't know now how this is going to totally work. As long as it's designed so that it can't stall late game, I think that it's fine. If it still allows it to like push in mid game and stuff and achieve things in that regard, it's still going to be buildable on like Kai'Sa and other champions. I do want to say though that for the record, obviously I was gone for 2 weeks because I was hospitalized with flu and pneumonia in June when Statikk Shiv really popped off. I will say that like the last 3 weeks of watching it has been one of the most miserable experiences, but not because of the experiences that like other people are saying. I just think Statikk Shiv sucks. I think it's really bad. I think if you actually watch the games on like LeBlanc and stuff, and the fact that people aren't flexing her and whatnot, I think the only actual good users of that item were legitimately Varus and Kai'Sa in the end. I think LeBlanc is one of the biggest fake news things in the entire world. And so in that regard, LeBlanc probably stopped using this, and Kai'Sa Kai'Sa's probably going to be the only one now.
Yeah, Kai'Sa. I mean, Kai'Sa, maybe Varus too, because you get the little bit of attack speed.
Right.
I wonder how it'll change Kai'Sa's like evolve thresholds.
Oh, true. You're. Oh, well, that's so smart. Actually, that didn't even dawn on me. Okay, so typically right now you need to buy a dagger when you have Statikk Shiv. When you have Statikk Shiv and Nashor's Tooth, you need to buy a dagger, and then you can sell the dagger at level 16 because that is the breakpoint. Now, with the extra 5%, you'll be able to sell the dagger at 14. So typically you complete the 2 items. Kai'Sa's level 12. So you would buy a dagger from 12 to 14, and then you'd sell it, and then you'd only end up losing 90 gold. So that's not that bad.
Yeah, 2 levels earlier.
That's not bad. Yeah. So you get it 2 levels earlier. I think that's kind of nice. Yeah, that's not bad. Or in some cases, if you finish both the items and you're 13 or something, you just wait a level, and then everything is going to end up being fine. Okay, so that's nice. Sterak's Gage. I have no idea why this item's getting buffed. It's absolutely broken. It is one of the most... This item is literally getting buffed because pro players don't read the wiki and they don't do math. They don't know champion base damages. It is maybe the most underrated bruiser item in the entire game. Total gold cost down by 100. So because you build Sterak's Gage, typically second, it depends when you're building it. Cannons aren't spawning every single wave yet. So if it's a non-cannon wave, then it is just a wave that you're waiting in order to get it, right? Cannon wave is not quite going to be 190 gold yet in that mid stage of the game, as cannons don't hit their maximum gold giving until 1715. Health is also going up by 50. It makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, I don't totally understand it.
It's like a 200 gold buff for free.
Yeah,
and
it's completely for free.
Like if you compare it to just Black Cleaver or something, it's like Black Cleaver gives the pen in like CDR, but then Sterak just gives that like huge shield. And then on most like champions that build it, or like that could build it as well, the base AD that you get is actually super huge. Right.
It's super big. Okay, we move on to Trinity Force. Trinity Force got a massive buff in mid-season and is finally a home in several fighters' inventories. Okay, attack speed 35 to 33%, so it's going down by 2%. Attack damage per stack 4 to 3% plus 3%. No, this is just 6%. Amazing.
Why did they write it like that?
Okay. And so now, I actually don't know why that is. That is super weird.
Why did they just put 6%?
Because I guess they're doing Trinity Force 3. You know what I mean? Okay. Maximum threefold strike stacks 5 to 3. Maximum AD decrease from 20% to 18. So the thing is that it comes online quicker. So because it comes online quicker, it says right here, there's a net buff across the first 11 attacks of a fight, only falling off for a champion who get to attack even more, marksman. So for bruisers like Renekton and Aatrox, and I know that as I say Renekton, some people are going to be like, what do you mean Renekton Trinity Force? And if anyone's watched my co-streams or, other random stuff that I've talked about, Renekton has 139.55 base AD at 18. He's one of the highest base AD users in the game. And obviously his old lethality build was really strong because of his ability to just nuke someone. So if he goes Trinity Force, Sterak's, Black Cleaver, Trinity Force and Black Cleaver no longer share a unique passive, it used to be Rage, which used to give MS. They now have unique passives that both give MS. So Renekton is really fast, has access to arguably the 2 best bruiser items in the entire game, and then he hits like a massive truck. And with this change, being able to have the threefold strike come on just that much faster, his damage is going to be even stronger. So I think for like Renekton, Aatrox, and some other champions, this is going to be absolutely disgusting.
I think also, I was low-key looking at the patches. I think Graves could be good with Triforce Sterak's. Bro, you can look at Graves base AD, it's super high, no cap. And now that they lowered it, and obviously the 2% attack speed doesn't matter.
Graves, lol.
Because you go like Triforce into Black Cleaver into Sterak's.
He has 130.
Yeah, his base AD is super high. So Sterak's is getting buffed. Triforce is getting buffed for him. I think it could be a good build. So I'm going to try it next patch. Or, when the patch drops.
Why does he have 130 base? Wait, I didn't...
Okay. He's super high, yeah.
Okay, let him cook. Okay, let him cook. Okay. All right, Ghost, duration 10 to 15 seconds, no longer extends on takedown, doesn't matter. Does not matter. The getting the 15 seconds outright is probably better than the extended takedown. I mean, it's just super luxury anyway. It doesn't matter. Jungle buff adjustments. Crest of Cinders. Burn true damage is going to be down. Okay. Melee slow is also going to be down until late game. Range slow is going to be unchanged. Okay. Crest of Insight. Ability haste 10 to 5 to 20. So now it's actually buffed. So, okay, blue buff is getting buffed. Blue buff's nerfed at level 1, so on the initial clear, but it doesn't really matter on initial clear. And it's buffed from there on out. When you get second blue buff, and then obviously at level 11, typically you have primal smite. So at that point, both you and the mid laner end up getting it. So this is really, really, really big buffs.
Yeah, that's actually not bad. Like 15 and 20% abilities compared to not bad.
Okay, so themed clash. Oh, so this is interesting. The Void Cup clash kicks off this weekend. I hear you get Baron on your team. You can. I hear you get Baron on your team if you can assemble 9 Void champions. This is a joke. Baron will not be joining any player's team. Amazing. So I don't know. Okay, so obviously there are 9 Void champions, I believe, in the entire game. So I don't know what that means. Clash tournament cadence was reduced twice to once per month with 2 clash days per tournament. Clash capsule and orb rewards will all be distributed. Players will see double the VP every time they win with OK. We decided to host at least 1 non-summoners Rift Clash tournament per year. Cool. Okay. So this is obviously really good. 13-14, there's going to be some changes for people that obviously check in on like the Patreon and stuff for solo queue and clash tier list. There will be some changes because of stuff that has happened inside of this patch. I don't know if the Void thing is accurate. And then obviously 2v2v2v2 is going to be coming out, and I wonder if that'll... No, it probably won't be a clash, but... Okay. Arena augment data policy. So I've actually already gotten hate on Twitter about this because people claim that this is something that's happening because of people like me, aka the fun vampire. So augment win rates, average game placement. So what this isn't saying though is it's not saying that the champion data will be removed. So champion win rate data. It's just going to be the augment win rate data and stuff. Average game placement with selected augments, etc. So obviously, me and Gryffinn, as you guys might have heard on the stream, we're going to be trying to get rank 1 gladiator on Korea, and we already have 4 different team compositions that we're probably just going to end up cycling and rotating, so it's not just the same one over and over and over. But 2v2v2, the tier list is still, for the most part, pretty accurate. I think that there have been some balance changes. There's some things that would be moved around, but we'll see if Riot ends up doing more balance changes, because they only did 1 before it released. Yeah, which is bad. Sucks. Okay, nice, wonderful. Nice, thank you.
Fun vampire.
Okay, fun vampire. Okay, so now very last part of the review is the skins. Now, one of the things that I'll say is this looks like a Street Fighter character.
Yeah, it looks like Ken. What is it? This looks like Set.
Well, it is Set, but it looks like Ken.
Okay.
It kind of looks like Ken.
Oh!
This is
okay. Oh, who's that?
Samira.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Caitlyn, I think. Or no, Lux.
Lux.
I think it's Lux. Yeah, it's Lux. And then we got Naafiri. This skin, this skin, I like. Look, normally I love Riot skins. Normally I really, really, really do love Riot skins. This skin is the worst in-game skin I've ever seen. It actually does not look like a finished product. Let me just show you guys by going to the bottom and showing you guys what it looks like in-game. This does not, like, its sprite doesn't look like it belongs in the game.
Yeah, it looks like it's like not edged out.
Right, that's what I mean. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's a finished sprite. Now, I will say that these 2 ones down here, these ones look, I mean, they look okay even with the unfinished like sprite look.
It looks like pixelated.
That's what I mean. Like, what yes, it does. It doesn't look right. This skin, I can't get behind it. I would love if it was actually like cleaned up more, but I don't know if that's just the look that they're going for.
Oh, maybe
honestly,
no, it might be just how it looks, and it's not pixelated in game.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, again, Set looks like a Street Fighter character, and Street Fighter 6 just came out, so I think that the timing of this is all pretty accurate. Pyke.
Okay, that doesn't look like Pyke to be honest.
That does not look like Pyke at all. I mean, a lot of these skins just do not look like. Okay, the Lux skin. This kind of looks like Jinx. If she went to like a private school or something, like I don't know.
She cleaned up a bit.
Yeah, if Jinx cleaned up a bit, this is actually Jinx. Like I don't even know. Star Guardian Senna. I mean, it's a nice looking skin. It kind of looks like she's dressed up like the Tooth Fairy. Like I don't know what's going on here.
Usually dark theme, so this is like.
Yeah. This is very very different. But that is it for the skins, and that is it for the patch rundown. So pretty long one in the end, but so competitively, the only really big changes are Trinity Force and Aatrox. That's it. Those are the only 2 really big changes.
And Sterak's.
Well, Sterak's is a big change, but it's already being built. It's just underbuilt, right? So
Yeah,
it's not like it's pushing it. Yeah. Xerath, you could argue, is a really big one as well, but I just doubt that people are going to play him in mid lane. And aside from that, that is pretty much it. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the FlyQuest YouTube channel, and I will see you guys in 13-15, where hopefully there are good balance. Oh, actually, no, balance changes just don't matter anymore. Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you, Riot Games. Worlds is in 3 months, and the meta is locked on 13-14. That's so cool. At least until the Worlds patch, where everything is going to get completely thrown, into the grinder, and then we'll have to dissect it with a very limited amount of time. And I hope that the Worlds patch does not come out before Asia Games, or I hope that Asia Games actually plays on a different patch. That way the Worlds patch can still be exciting as Worlds commences, because otherwise this is just a disaster, because everyone is complaining about the current balance state of the game.
Super boring.
It's so bad.
Yeah,
it's so
especially
bad.
jungle.
We need Iron Man drafting in competitive. Riot needs to step in and actually just do big changes. I thought that they said that they were going to do that on Twitter, or like Freak said something in a YouTube video, I believe. Riot really just has to step in and just start like massacring certain champions in competitive. Otherwise, I don't know what you do. I genuinely don't know. So that's it. See you guys in the next one.